Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian. I will be the boxing instructor this quarter at UCI. The given circumstances that we're in right now, it's kind of hard. So normally this class wouldn't be taught online, it'd be taught in person. But we decided that it would be a great opportunity for you guys at home to do some exercise, to learn something new, and to have a lot of fun. These are very stressful times, and yeah, so let's get right into it. All right. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a warm up. So make sure you guys have enough room. We're going to be doing planks and all these things. So I know that a lot of people haven't really been working out or anything. I know I haven't during this pandemic. So we're just going to be doing our warm ups, right? We're going to be doing them until failure, right? I'm not expecting you guys to go hard all 1.5 minutes of everything I do. So just bear with me, and yeah, so we'll get started. So let me set up my timer here. I have my timer here, my boxing rounds warm up timer. All right, so first we're gonna start off with some plank hip dips. So what it's gonna look like is this, right? You guys can see my feet. Okay, so we're gonna be on the floor like this in plank position, right? Your hips, you're gonna turn them side to side like this. All right, if everyone can see that, I'll come this way. So we're gonna do side to side like this. All right, we're just gonna do this for 1.5 minutes, and then after that I will tell you guys what is next for our warm-up. Okay, so begin. Throughout this course we will be learning the fundamentals of boxing. It's going to be very basic stuff. Obviously, we can't become like Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao in only 10 weeks or so. But it'll be fun. Hopefully, you guys learn how to throw a punch, how to defend yourselves properly. Doesn't mean I'm allowing you guys to start fights or anything. But if the occasion arises, you guys will be better prepared, hopefully. Does that make sense? All right, 20 seconds, guys. Ten seconds. Good. All right, for this next exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go flat on our backs. So we're gonna go flat on our backs, right? We're gonna do flutter kicks, but our hands are gonna be off to the side, right? So we're gonna be off to the side, our shoulders up off the ground. So I don't want you guys down here. I want you guys up here doing flutter kicks, right? We're gonna do that for another 1.5 minutes. So begin. Now, if you guys can't go the full 1.5 minutes, feel free to stop and take a small break and then go right back into it. So what you want to do is you want to keep your legs straight, right? And if you can, flutter your kicks very slowly. It's even harder when you do it slower than fast, all right? So obviously, keep your hands out to the side. Thirty seconds. 10 seconds. All right. So for our next warm-up exercise, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go flat on our backs again. We're gonna keep one leg straight, so off the ground. The other one, you're gonna bring it up, all right? And we're gonna do toe touches, just like this. And when I say switch, we're gonna switch legs, all right? Make sure your bottom foot is straight and does not touch the ground. So we will begin now. Go this way. Now, if you guys can't do this fully, it's a cage, do whatever you can, and do it until completion, or until failure, I'm sorry. And now you can switch legs. Ooh, haven't done these in a while. Ugh. All right, 15 seconds. 5 seconds. All right. So for our next warm-up round, what we're gonna do is I call these the boxing set push-ups. So we're gonna do these push-ups that go inward. So one like this, and then you come out, you go wide, and you do a wide push-up, just like that. So we're gonna do that for about another minute and a half. All right, ready? Begin. So I'll do it this way, right? So push-ups inwards, then you come out, do wide push-ups. Now, if you can't do these, it's okay, you could go on your knees and try them that way. And if you can't do the inward push-ups or the really wide push-ups, just do normal push-ups, just as long as you're engaging those arms. Thirty seconds. All right, 10 seconds. All right, so this is going to be our last and final round. So what we're going to do is every 10 seconds, we're going to rotate, right? So we're going to do planks for the first 10 seconds, and then we're going to go up on our hands and touch our shoulders. So I'll do it this way. So push-up position. Touch your shoulders. Make sure your torso is not moving. If your torso is moving, it throws you off balance, and also when you're not moving, it engages your core. So you want to do that. And then at the very end, we're going to do it's called a tabletop position. So you come in, legs bent 90 degrees, and you're just like this for 10 seconds. So we're just going to rotate. We're going to do that for 1.5 minutes. So we'll start off with planks. And shoulder taps. And knees in, tabletop position. All right, back down to the plank. Shoulder taps. Tabletop. Plank. Shoulder tap. All right, last 10 seconds, tabletop. All right, so that'll be the end of our warm-up. So now we're gonna go into boxing a little bit. We're gonna learn a few basic things. So in boxing, there are 10 major punches. I will go over them right now, but the most important punch you wanna learn is the jab. So the jab, it's also called the stiff or the one, excuse me. And so you get in your fighting stance, right? And you throw it out like that. It's your lead hand. Now, before we do that, we have to learn, obviously, how to get in our boxing stance. So for those of you who are right-handed, that's gonna be your power side. You don't lead with that hand. That hand goes backwards, all right? That side of your body, your right side of your body, kind of goes backwards like this. So now, so for feet positioning, right? For my right-handed students, so what you want to do, your left side, your weaker side, that's your lead side, all right? So that's going to go up, and your back foot, it's not going to go immediately behind it, right? Then you'd have a linear stance. So what you want to do is you want to kind of bring it out a little bit, like a small step, right? So and that way, like it lets you easily move in and out, right? You have to go side to side. It's a lot easier. And if it's hard for you to get in the right boxing stance, what you could do is imagine this like a line, right? Floor, and each foot should be on each side of the line. So if you're standing straight, normally, I'm not sure if you can see the shoelace. There's a shoelace in the middle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring my lead side, right? Since I'm right-handed, I'm gonna bring my left foot up and bring it 45-degree angle to my right. If that makes sense. So I'm here, I have one foot on each side of my shoelace, right? Of my invisible line. Well, for you guys, it might be invisible, you guys get a shoelace, whatever. So you're gonna divide your body in half, so you have one side on each, right? That's for my right-handed students. So now for left-handed, you guys are southpaws. You guys are a little bit different, right? So left-handed, you will lead with your right hand, with your weaker hand, right? So you lead with that, your left side, it's the dominant hand. That's why your power comes in. That's why we bring it to the back, right? And I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'll explain all this to you. So for my right-handed students, you're here, standing straight. You bring your right foot up, 45-degree angle, back foot as well, and you're here, all right? You wanna be approximately shoulder width apart. You don't wanna be too wide. So about shoulder width apart, and you've got one foot in the front towards the right, one foot in the back towards the left. If that makes sense. I'm not linear, right? Nor am I too square in my stance. I'm kind of in the middle here, right? So that's how you get into your fighting stance. So since I'm right-handed, right? So I stand this way. It's called orthodox, right? So if you're right-handed, you're orthodox. If you're left-handed, you're southpaw. So I'm right-handed, I'm orthodox, right? So I'm in my fighting stance. So now there are a few rules in boxing, right? MMA, it's a little bit different, but in boxing, we don't ever cross our feet like this, or like this, or like this. We don't do that in boxing. You might see it in the professionals, but that's at another level. You know, we can't really replicate that. So in boxing, whatever direction you want to move, when you're in your fighting stance, you should move with the leg that's in that direction. So if I want to move up, my lead leg goes first, right? So I step out of my boxing stance and I step right back in with my back foot, right? So if I want to go backwards, my back foot goes first, and then my lead leg comes first, right? So this is very important, and I want you guys to practice this as I'm going over it. So try getting in your fighting stance, right? And it's gonna feel very weird at first, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it gets. So you're in your fighting stance, right? You wanna move forward. So if you're orthodox, so you're right-handed, your left leg comes up, and then your back leg follows, right? So you wanna step out of your fighting stance, and then with your back foot, step right in, all right? So you're not walking towards me, right? You're step, 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 if that makes sense. So now if you're southpaw, you wanna move forward. Your right leg comes up, you step out of your fighting stance, then your back leg steps right back into your fighting stance, all right? You always wanna be in your fighting stance, and if you're moving, you move right back out and then right back in. Right back out, right back in. So that way you're always ready for defense or offense in boxing. So we learn how to move up, right? We use our lead leg, we step out, we step right back in with our rear. So to go backwards, we step out with our back, step right back into our fighting stance with our lead foot, right? So you wanna move to the right. What we're gonna do, as I'm orthodox, I'm right-handed, I'm gonna move my right foot, I'm gonna step out of my fighting stance, then with my lead leg, step right back into my fighting stance. Now I know you guys can't see me very well, so I'll do it this way, right? So here I am in my fighting stance, I step out of my fighting stance, step right back into my fighting stance. You see, I'm not ending up linear, I'm not ending up too square, I'm still in my fighting stance. So I go out, right back in, out, right back in, right? So if you're southpaw, you're left-handed, right? Your right foot, you wanna move to the right, your right foot goes first, your lead foot, and then your back foot follows, right? I'm not ending up too linear, I'm not too square, I'm moving out of my fighting stance, and then right back in, out, and then right back in. I know it's very annoying, but being in your fighting stance at all times, especially when you're in a fight, very beneficial. Now, I'm not condoning violence, so yeah. So let's say you want to move to the left, right? Same thing, I'm pretty sure you guys are already over it by now, but you step out with your left foot, if you're orthodox, or for both sides, really. So you step out with that foot, that direction you want to go, and you step right back into your fighting stance, all right? It's kind of weird, it kind of feels like crab walking a little bit, does that make sense? So you step out and right back in, out and then right back in. I'll come over here and do it again, all right? So you step out of your fighting stance, right back in. Step out your fighting stance, right back in, right? So now if you're southpaw, you're left-handed, you want to go to the left, right? Your left foot comes out, your lead foot comes right back in. So you come out, you come back in, all right? I'll do that again. So you come out, come in, come out, come in, all right? Does that make sense to everyone? Does everyone get that? So let's say we're on our fighting stance, right? We're here, we're ready. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a fist, right? So people don't know how to make a fist. So when you make a fist, right? You ball up your hands, and now you wanna do this, right? You don't wanna do this. You see how my knuckles are no longer aligned, right? You don't want to do that. You could break your knuckles that way. So you want to do, it feels weird at first, but you want them all to line up, right? You bring your thumb, you put it in front of here. Now, if you guys have like a coin or something, you guys could put a coin there, get you guys used to placing the thumb, right? And it'll leave your knuckles like linear, like parallel, if that makes sense. It doesn't do like this jonky thing right here. So you want to do it like that, right? And it feels very weird at first, but you do have to get used to it. Now, I know that when you make a fist, right? This is what feels normal. Now, I want you guys to notice right here, if I were to make impact up top, my wrist would go backwards, right? Even though my hand feels straight. So what you guys have to do is give it a slight bend inward. So that way the knuckle aligns with your forearm. That way if you're to make impact, your wrist won't go back and it won't break, right? So you wanna make that fist, right? And bring your hands, your fist kind of inward like that. It's gonna be kind of weird, but you do have to practice it, you know, and the more you do it, the more natural it feels. So once again, here, right, your thumb comes up top here, and you give it that slight bend inward. So when you do that, you wanna do that, right? And now when you're in your fighting stance, you ball up your fists, bring them up about chin level, and you wanna bring your elbows, you wanna tuck them in, all right? You don't wanna have your elbows flared out like this. You don't want that to happen. That burns out your shoulders and it's very bad defensively, right? So you wanna bring everything in like this. You wanna be nice and tight, all right? This is the traditional boxing stance right here. There are other boxing stances like Floyd Mayweather, he does his Philly shell, he does this, right? You don't wanna learn that. It's like very technical and it's very hard to do actually. It's very hard to pull off. So we're gonna do standard boxing stance, right? So once again, with your fists, ball them up, bring them in a little bit, and then elbows tucked into your body. You want your elbows to touch your body, right? That blocks the incoming body shots here, right? So you wanna, kind of what a boxing stance looks like, right? So my feet placement, right? I've got my lead leg up front, my rear leg in the back, not too linear, not too square, kind of in the middle, right? So I'm here, up top, elbows tucked, hands fist balled up, and wrists like turned in a little bit. So that's how you get in your boxing stance, right? So from here, we're gonna learn the most important punch in boxing. It's called the jab, otherwise called the one, right? So you're in your boxing stance, you don't move, you don't do anything, you don't rotate, you don't twist, you just throw it out there, right? Whatever leads side, that's the punch that you throw out, right? It's kind of like this. Now, before you throw it, I want you guys to pay close attention, right? So here I am in my boxing stance. When I throw my jab, when I throw any punch in general, that's a straight punch, what I want to do is I want to bring my arm out straight, right? I don't flare my elbow and then throw it. I bring it out straight, and at the very end, I twist, right? So straight forward, it'd be like this, and then I twist at the very end. The twisting motion at the end gets my two front knuckles to impact instead of my back ones. The back ones are very sensitive. They're easy to break, right? So you throw, it comes straight, right? Like a piston, it comes straight. You don't want to do this. It comes straight out and then rotate at the end. So just like that, right? That's our jab. So now if you're southpaw, obviously you do that with your right hand. Now keep in mind, when you throw your jab, right? This is not a power punch. This is only a setup shot, and it also gauges your distance in a fight, right? No one's been knocked out by a jab. So, you know, you just throw it out there, right? I say if your opponent's coming towards you, you just throw it out there, get them to back up a little bit, right? But if your opponent is shelling up, you come in, right, throw another combination, but you stay behind that jab. The jab kind of blocks the vision a little bit. It's one of the most important punches in boxing. So we want to keep practicing that, right? So you don't want to flare your elbow, so straight, then rotate at the end, right? You don't have to focus on speed or power, right? You don't have to focus on speed right now because, you know, you're just learning the punch. So just get the technique right, throw it, and you twist at the very end, right? You just want to practice that. Practice that until you get used to it, all right? And now what I want you guys to do, right? So keep practicing this punch. And then now what I want you guys to do, start moving, right? Practice your movement a little bit. Look down at your feet if you have to. For the first few steps, right? So try moving backwards, right? Left, right, forward, and throw a punch, right? Move back, throw a punch, throw that jab. Move forward, throw that jab. Move to the right, move to the left, move back, throw that punch, all right? I want you guys to move around, get used to being in your fighting stance, right? Obviously, arms up, elbows tucked, right? Get you guys used to being to moving around, throwing that punch. Throw that punch, move around, all right? Hopefully you guys have enough space to do this. This is very important. The movement and being balanced is one of the most important aspects of footwork in boxing, right? Muhammad Ali, he was a revolutionary in the sport of boxing because of his footwork. He was able to be balanced while moving this way, throwing his jab, popping his jab. So Mike Tyson, revolutionary footwork, peekaboo style, where he comes in, right? He was very short, heavyweight, 5'10", fighting guys who were over 6 feet and way heavier than him. He would come in and start unleashing his punches. And that was all due to his very good footwork and head movement. So once again, if you want to move and throw punches, all right? So you come out to the side, step back in, throw a punch. Step out, step into your fighting stance, throw a punch, throw that jab, all right? So you want to move forward, backwards, laterally, right? Get used to throwing that punch. So now that we're done throwing these punches, we want to go in with a little bit of power on that jab, all right? Now I know I said the jab doesn't have power, it really doesn't, but the only way you can give it power is by stepping into it, right? So let's say you're here, right? Let's say your opponent just out of range from your jab, you step in and you catch them with that quick jab, right? So in order to do this step in jab, let me show you my feet real quick. So you're here, you want to step in with your lead foot, right? So if you're southpaw, it'd be your right foot. If you're orthodox, it'd be your left foot, right? Now remember, orthodox is right-handed. If you're right-handed, you want to step in with your left, which is your lead side. If you're southpaw, you want to step in with your right, which is your lead side. So you step in, right? You step in, and then you step in. It's okay, I'm sorry. You step out with your lead foot, you step right back into your fighting stance with your rear foot. So out, in, right? And while you step out with that lead foot, that's when you throw your punch, all right? So I know it's gonna be hard to see. Try to back up a little bit. You guys can kind of see my footwork. So here, is that too far? I don't know. Okay, well, I step out and I throw that punch, and my back foot comes in, right? So I step and punch. So by the time my lead foot touches the ground, my arm should have already be fully extended and rotated, all right? So like this, and I come in with my back foot. So step out, step in, step out, step in, step out, step in. All right, so I want you guys to practice that. That you throw in a little bit of power, a little bit of range into your jab. So you step out, you step in, step out, step in, right? You're hearing that squeaking noise because in boxing, every time we step, it's not a lot of movement. We try to conserve energy. So what I'm doing is I'm actually dragging my back foot across the ground. And it's very common in boxing. So if you guys can't do that, obviously, just take the actual steps, right? If you're, if you can't do that. But yeah, so you don't want to make, too much movement. You want to be very conservative. You want to reserve all your strength and all your cardio and all that stuff. So, when you step with your lead foot, throw that punch. Rear foot come in, right? And when it comes in, your arm should already be on its way back to protecting your face. So I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. So I step in, right? I step out my lead foot, step in with my back foot, right? Just like that. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm going a little bit fast, but I'm trying to show you in real time what it looks like, right? So slow motion. I step out, I step in, I step out, and I step in, all right? So now we know how to work on that stationary jab and on that jab where you step in, all right? So with that jab that you step in, it's not always just forward, right? Sometimes we step to the side and we throw that jab, right? It's easier when you go towards your lead side. So if you're southpaw, right? You're throwing that jab, right? You're stepping in with that jab. You could also go to the right. It's easier than going to your left if you're southpaw, right? So if you're orthodox, you're right-handed, right? You throw that jab, you move to the left, right? And let me show you that footwork right here. So you step out, right? And while you step out, the moment your foot touches the ground, your fist should be fully extended, all right? And then it should be on its way back. By the time this one touches the ground, it should already be near your face, all right? So you step, punch, and then you bring back your punch and then step in, all right? So I'll show you guys what that looks like up top. So I'm out here. One second. Oh. So I'm out here, right? So I'm orthodox. I'm right-handed. Lead hand is my left hand. So I step out, throw my punch, step in, retreat, right? So step out, throw my arm, step in, and then retreat. So that's kind of how it works. So if you're southpaw, right? You're southpaw, you want to move to your right. That's your lead side, right? So you step to the right, you throw it out, right? Step in, step in. I'll do that again. For my southpaws, step out, step in, step out, step in, all right? So you want to work on that. I know it's very hard, it's very difficult, it's very confusing at first, but that footwork and learning how to move properly, and how to throw that punch, how to throw these punches while you're moving, it's very important, right? Makes your life a lot easier. So if we're doing that, now we want to throw our cross, right? The number 2 punch. So the cross, this is a power punch, all right? So if you're right-handed, you're in your fight stance, right? Your power is on your right side. So what that looks like, it's like that, right? So it's not just this. You fully rotate your body and you extend, right? You want maximum range, maximum power. And all your power doesn't come from your arms. It comes from rotating your torso, all right? And your feet come into play too. So this is what it looks like, all right? So I'm here, right? I want to rotate my torso. What I want to do is my back leg. I pivot, right? I'm not sure if you could see my knee, right? So originally my knee is down here, and then I pivot and it comes this way, right? And when I do that, the rest of my body follows, right? So I do this and my hips move, and when my hips move, my shoulders move as well. So that's how you get the power, right, in the right form to throw a power shot, right? A straight punch, the cross. So if you're right-handed, that is your right hand, right? Your backside. So you twist your foot, you pivot, right? Your hips come forward, and with your hips come your shoulders. And you throw that punch, and then you rotate at the last second, right? So you rotate at the last second. So you're pivoting, right? Your body's rotating, and then you twist at the very end. Once again, I'll show you what my feet look like. So I do this, right? And then at the very end, my arm comes up. I know it's kind of hard to see my entire body, but yeah. So if you're southpaw, right? That's your left hand. So your left hand's your power hand, right? So when you rotate, comes out just like that, all right? You bring it back in. Keep in mind, you're not flaring your punches. You're not flaring your elbows. You're not throwing punches like this, all right? Keep it nice and tight, elbows tucked, rotate, and then you come out just like that. You come right back in. So we're gonna be doing that, right? So southpaw, rotate your back foot, knee should be pointing forward, right? And when you do that, your hips moving forward, right? They're no longer kind of bladed in this sense. It comes forward like this. When that happens, your shoulders come forward as well. So you throw that punch, then you retreat. When you retreat, you just pivot back and go right back into your fighting stance, right? So we're gonna practice these two punches, right? This is the most basic and most important combination in boxing. It's called the two combo, right? It's the jab and the cross, right? The jab and the cross. Now keep in mind, you could step in with the jab, right? You step in with the jab and you could throw your cross, or you could throw it stationary, right? Let's say your opponent's not moving and you could touch him up right here. So you throw that jab, you rotate your body and you hit him with that cross, right? And I keep repeating myself, but the power does not come from your arm. It comes from how fast and how hard you could rotate your torso. If that makes sense. Mike Tyson, he had a very strong back. That's why he could throw those very strong power punches. It was just all his rotation in his body, right? So once again, the jab, there's no rotation of the body here. It's just your setup shot, right? So you set it up and then you unleash with the cross, right? Keep in mind, your fist cannot be balled up in that weird way. It has to be straight, right? So the impact is even, right? You don't want this to happen, right? You don't want that. You want this right here. So once again, throw that jab, throw that cross, come right back in, right? And in between punches, so I throw my jab, right? This side is protecting my face and part of my body, right? And when I retreat and I start throwing the other one, my other side is protecting the other side of my body and my face, all right? You don't want to be out in the open just throwing stuff like this, right? You're going to get clobbered that way. You don't want that to happen. So your southpaw, right? You're left-handed. You throw your jab, your right hand, and then you rotate and you throw that power left, all right? So you throw that jab and power left. So you want to keep doing these, all right? I want you guys to just practice these two punches. Just throw them, all right? Don't be afraid. You know, I'm teaching you guys how to throw these punches correctly. So I want you guys to try to move around as well. So when you throw these punches, right, once you feel comfortable throwing these two punches stationary, right, I want you guys to start moving, right? Move one way, move the other, move front, move back, throw your punches, your jab and your cross. Move, punch, punch. Okay? Move, throw your punches. Or you just move once, throw your punches, right? Come up. All right, just do the two there. But yeah, you could just mix it up, all right? Just the one or the two, or you could do the two combo, right? 1, 2. Now, while you guys are practicing that, there are 10 punches in boxing. I want to go over them really quickly. I'm not expecting you to do them. So there's the jab that we learned, the cross that we learned, and then there's the hooks, right? The lead hook. So obviously rotation of the body. Then you have your rear hook, and you have your lead uppercut and your rear uppercut. All right? Those are the 6 most basic punches in boxing. And then come the body shots, right? So the body shots, so you rotate, right, for your lead body shot, come in this way, aim right in their body, right here, and then rear body shot. And then from here, there's a variation of the jab. It's a power jab, but it's not common in boxing, but I guess we do it. All right, so if you're already in this position, right, you could rotate your body and then throw that jab. That's the power jab, right? And that one's called the stiff. So you throw it, and it's a stiff jab. So you're rotating your shoulders and your torso, and that's where the power comes in, right? as opposed to this, So there's that power jab, and there's the overhand right comes over their defense. If they're shelled up like this, you throw a jab, you hide it, you throw that overhand, and it comes over here and it hits them in the temple, messes with their equilibrium. So there's that punch, right? And then you start changing levels. These last 2 punches, those are the first 10, right? And there's 2 more. You change levels. You squat, right? Right. So you squat, you throw that jab, you retreat, right? And you come right back up. And then there's the cross to the body. So you rotate and you come down, you throw that cross right to the midsection, come right back up. So while you guys are practicing the 1-2s, right, moving around, throwing those jabs and those crosses, I just wanted to show you guys those 12 punches, actually. And we're going to be going over them throughout the quarter. We're going to be learning different combinations, how to properly defend against these punches, and some counters, right? If you're getting hit with something, what's the appropriate counter to them? And yeah, so just keep in mind, if any of you have been to a boxing gym before, every boxing gym and every instructor has their own combinations, has their own way of doing things, right? And no one's really wrong. So if you're used to something else, I just ask you to bear with me. I know you might have learned something different. It's not wrong, and I'm not wrong. But yeah, just keep in mind, everyone's different. My coach, when I started off, he taught me one way, and then I went to another boxing gym, they taught me another way. So it's just really personal preference, right? So some of the combinations I teach you, right, I have a name for them, right? So like I said, the 4 combo, it might not be the same in my gym and someone else's gym, So just keep that in mind. And with that being said, just keep working on those punches, the 1-2, right? Moving around, moving forward, backwards, and throwing those punches, all right? Now keep in mind, I want you guys to work on your form over anything, all right? At this point, you don't care about speed, you don't care about power, just the form, all right? Just getting the right form, because once you get that right form, the speed and the power just come naturally, all right? So I've seen a lot of people in the past where they throw the form out the window, they actually end up hurting themselves. So you don't want to do that. You just want to stay nice, tight, compact, right? You want to move around, throw your punches, just feel comfortable, get comfortable with it, because this is what you're going to be doing for the next 10 weeks, hopefully. And yeah, the more you practice on your free time. I know you guys have a lot of free time right now. So just practice moving around, throwing those 2 punches, right? And if your parents look at you like you're weird, ignore it. So, well, move around, throw those 2 punches, throw that jab, throw your cross, around. So now that you guys are getting a little bit more comfortable with this, with these 2 punches and moving around, I want to teach you guys the lead hook. So that's the 3 punch, right? The lead hook. So in order to throw your lead hook, it kind of looks like this, right? So you load up and you throw it, right? It's one of Mike Tyson's favorite punches, the hooks and the uppercuts. So the footwork is a little bit weird. So if I'm orthodox, right? Lead leg is my left leg, my power hand's my right, and it's on the back. So I'm orthodox, right? I pivot with my back foot, right? To load up on my left side. So I pivot and I rotate this way, right? Keep in mind, I still have high guard, right? Elbows tucked, protecting my face, right? And then what I want to do is from here, right? Here, I want to bring my foot back down, right? And when I do that, so as I'm doing this movement right here, this one, that movement. So as I'm doing that, right, I'm gonna set up this punch. I'm loading it up, right? Okay, so I load it up and then I set it right here, right? So once again, I load up and I set my punch. Once again, load up and I set it, right? And then from here, right, my feet look like this. So I'm I rotate to my left, I plant, and I set up my punch. And then from here, while I'm throwing my punch, I rotate this way, right? So I don't know if you can really see my lead foot that well. So I'm here, right? I rotate, I plant, and then I transfer. You're gonna have to transfer your weight a little bit between your legs. So, but try to be as balanced as you can, right? So you're here. Obviously, you don't want to be leaning all the way on this leg. Put all your weight on that. You don't want to do that. So you want to put some of your weight on this foot, right, while this one's rotating, and then you want to transfer your weight back a little bit to your back foot. All right. So it's your weight distribution should be about 70-30 on each leg when you're loading up. All right. So you load up, right? You set the punch, you plant your foot, and then when you rotate with your punch, your lead foot rotates as well. So up top, this is what it looks like, right? So I load up, I plant my foot, I set up my shot, and then I rotate, and this hook comes in. Now when I'm throwing the hook, right, I don't want my arm, my elbow to be low or be too high. I want it to be parallel to the ground, right? And when I throw that hook, I don't want to bring it down too low. I want to bring it up to about my chin, because that's where if you land on the chin, that's where it does the most damage, all right? So once again, you load up, you plant your foot, you throw the hook, right? Should be around chin level. So now if you're southpaw, once again, going back to the feet, if you're southpaw, right? You remember your left side. If you're southpaw, your left hand is your strong hand, your dominant hand. So you're gonna rotate right to your right, your lead side, and then from your lead side, you're gonna plant your foot and then set up the punch, right? Bring it out a little bit, and then when you rotate in and you bring the weight a little bit to your back foot, that's when you throw that punch. So up top, actually, you know what? Let me do it one more time, very slowly, so you can see the feet. So it comes here, you pivot. Do you even see my back foot? Sorry about that. Right there you go. You load up, right? You plant, and then you set up that punch, and then you rotate. And when you pivot, that's when you throw that punch. So up top, this is what it looks like, right? So you pivot, you load up, and you plant your feet, and then when you pivot your lead, that's when you throw that punch. And once again, it has to be parallel to the ground. I don't want this, I don't want that. I want to be parallel. And remember, your fist shouldn't be like this. It should be rolled in a little bit so you get maximum impact and it doesn't roll your wrist back and break it. All right. So when you rotate, set it up, throw it. All right. So just like that. All right. Like that, one fluid motion. Now, if I'm orthodox, right, I'm right-handed. That's my lead side to my left. So I come this way, right? That's what it looks like in real time. All right. So once again, so we learned 3 punches so far, right? Jab, cross, hook. And we learned a little bit of footwork, right? So how to move backwards, right? Side, forward, right? So we learned that stuff, and we learned how to throw punches. So that's going to be it, pretty much it for today's lesson. And I'm sorry it was kind of sporadic. I had a few things come up. So I guess for right now, what we're going to do is it's going to be a little bit of cool down, right? We're going to do some stretching. But make sure that you practice what I'm showing you, right? Because next class, which I believe is next Friday, we're gonna build off of that and continue with the footwork and the combination punching and learning new punches. So once again, so quick recap, once again, jab, cross, hook, and then the movement, right? So if you're southpaw, this is what it looks like. If you're left-handed, this is what it looks like. So your jab, so your cross, and your hook, right? So I guess at the very end, what we could do is just do these 3 punches, all together. And now you've learned your second combination, right? The first combination we learned was jab, cross. And the second combination we're learning now is jab, cross, hook, all right? Jab, cross, hook. That one's called the 3 combo here at UCI. We call that one the 3 combo. 1, 2, and the third punch, all right? So once again, 1, 2, 3. So now what we can do is, class is pretty much over. We only have a few minutes left. So what I want you guys to do is start stretching, you know, do some arm stretches, a lot of arm stretches, very good. Stretch your legs. In boxing, you're gonna be surprised by how much footwork we use and how much leg strength we need, especially when we work on our splits, when we work on our bob and weave, and just all around footwork, our pivots, right? Our step and pivots, our offensive, defensive pivots. Yeah, there's a lot to boxing. There's a reason they call it the sweet science, right? It's a lot more technical than people think. If you guys have any free time during quarantine, right? I suggest you guys watch a lot of boxing fights. Watch people like Canelo, Floyd Mayweather, who else? Manny Pacquiao, Vasily Lomachenko, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Marvin Hagler. They have all a bunch of different fighting styles, and they're all unique in their own way, and they'll have their own strengths, right? Muhammad Ali, he has his footwork. Lomachenko, very technical footwork, right? Who else? Manny Pacquiao, despite being very short, he has that explosivity, right? Explosivity. He knows how to get in really quick, throw his combinations really hard, jump right back out. So I want you guys to just see these people, analyze them, study them, you know, if you guys have time, you know, if you guys aren't busy. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun watching these fights, and hopefully you guys get to see a little bit of the stuff I'm teaching you, right? See how they set up some punches, right? They use their jab a lot. If you look at the Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence fight, Errol Spence defeated Mikey Garcia just popping that jab. All he did basically the entire fight, popping that jab. He was a taller fighter, the quicker puncher, right? I'm pretty sure he had more power than Mikey Garcia, but he couldn't knock him out. All he did was just jab, 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 the entire 12 rounds, just jab, jab, jab. And Mikey Garcia couldn't do anything. So once again, just keep in mind those things I'm teaching you, those 2 punches, 3, and your movement. So I guess that's pretty much it for now. I hope you guys have a good day. There's a few things I have to mention, I believe. I think there's a, what's it called? There's an Instagram page for the UCI Rec. Let me see, let me pull this up real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, okay, there's an Instagram page called UCI Rec Class. So UCI REC CLASS. And yeah, if you guys want, you guys could take pictures while you guys are taking these classes, upload them, upload videos, tag UCI Rec Class, and they might feature you on their page. So yeah, with that being said, I hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe, stay indoors. Don't party too hard. Do well in school, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a good day. If you guys need anything, you guys could message me on Facebook. If you guys go on Facebook, if you guys want, you guys could join the UCI boxing page. So on Facebook, I think it's just UCI boxing. And I'll make a post right now, greeting you guys, telling you guys if you guys need anything, just let me know, message me. Or if you guys just want to take videos, like quick videos of your form, what you're doing, and send it to me, and I could respond with some criticism, you know, constructive criticism, obviously, you know, tell you what to work on, you know, if you're throwing the punches right or not. So yeah. So with that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you Friday, same time.